What's going on, guys? Today I'm doing a deck profile on Ancient Gears. This is a really fun, really budget deck that is kind of anti-links and that you very rarely use your extra deck. And if you do use, you're making Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, or you're making Ancient Gear Howitzer, or like spot removal cards, a Diamond Dire, or Utopia the Lightning, or like Castel, stuff like that. But you rarely use your extra deck. You mainly attack with the monsters you have in your main deck, like Reactor Dragon or stuff like that. So yeah, as always, I will show you the main deck. I will show you my take on the side deck, but again, side deck is always personal preference, and I will show you the extra deck that I currently run. So starting off with the main deck, I run 3 copies of Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, an awesome card, 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense, level 9. He's a huge monster. He's a problematic card to get around, and if you tribute summon him using an Ancient Gear monster, he does piercing. If you tribute him using a gadget monster, he can attack twice each battle phase. And at all times, if you special summon from the grave, from your deck, or from your hand, if he attacks, your opponent can activate spell, trap, or monster effects until after the damage step, which is awesome. And at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you can destroy 1 spell trap on the field, which is crazy. You can destroy your Gear Town, you can destroy your Ancient Gear Fortress, getting you more advantage, or you can destroy a problematic trap card or spell card that your opponent controls, which is awesome. So I think 3 of him is actually necessary. I find that I've only run 1 or 2. I don't have enough. And that third one always seems to be helpful. So 3, it can make your hand kind of bricky, but I think it's absolutely okay because like you almost risk the brick to get the extra OTK potential and extra advantage on the field. Then I run the new one, Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. This card replaced Ancient Gear Golem in the deck, which I know is kind of crazy, but this card I think is just better. He can be able to summon just like Ancient Gear Golem, and if this card attacks, if it's just a monster, he does piercing like always. But it's up to twice per turn. When this attacking card destroys a monster at battle, you can discard 1 machine monster. This card can attack again in a row, which is awesome. It doesn't say you have to attack a monster again, meaning you can destroy a monster, discard a machine, and then attack directly for 3,000, which is awesome. And it says if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add 1 polarization from your deck to your hand, and if you do, add 1 other Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard to your hand, which is crazy because you're going to replenish resources and get your polymerization, and you can go into your fusion plays and kind of extend your plays even further in main phase 2, which is awesome. So I think 2 Ancient Gear Ultimate Pound is definitely enough. I think at 3 it would clog, but I think 2 is absolutely fine. Then I run double Ancient Gear Wyvern, or sorry, triple Ancient Gear Wyvern. He's a search card of your deck, searches everything in your deck. Any Ancient Gear monster, search any Ancient Gear card. So monster, spell, trap, searches it all, which is awesome. 700 body is not bad, and if he attacks, your opponent can activate monster effects, which is not too bad. And his effect, if you search, you can't set cards for the turn. That doesn't really bother you. You only play 1 trap, and that doesn't really bother you at all. So I think triple Ancient Gear Wyvern if necessary. Same with this card, Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. He's a fusion card of your deck, and when he's normal summon, he does 600 damage, which helps you get to your win condition faster. But yeah, lets you fusion summon monster from your lets you fusion summon an Ancient Gear fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. Meaning, if you have this card, you're like fusion or an Ancient Gear card, you're gonna have Howitzer right on the field and be able to bring your opponent for 1,000 damage is really good. So yeah, I think 3 Ancient Gear Hunting Hound absolutely necessary in this deck. Then I run 2 Ancient Gear Gadget. If you know what Ancient Gear Gadget does, if this card is normal for summon, you can declare 1 card type, monster, spell, or trap. In this turn, if a monster you control attacks, your opponent can activate the declared card type, which is really good, and you can make his name become any gadget monster you want. So that's really good there. I think 2 of them is fine. Any more, I figure it's going to clog your hand. And 1 Ancient Gear box allows you to get to your Ancient Gear Gadget faster. So 1 Ancient Gear box, not too bad. Then I run double Ancient Gear Knight. He's 1,800 attack, which is really why I run him, and he's a normal monster, meaning you can go into your Link Spider play, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I think 2 of them is fine. Any more, I feel like you're really hurting yourself, but 2 I think is okay. Then I run double Gold Gadget, because you can. He's a gadget card by name, which is really good, and you can he allows you to special summon another machine type monster from your hand, level 4 lore, which is really good. Same with double silver gadget. I run both just 2 at 2. Wasn't the same effect, being able to summon an extra machine type monster from your hand, meaning you can get more resources on the board. So I really like those cards at 2 of each. That does it for monsters. Onto the spell lineup, I run triple Ancient Gear Catapult. Probably the best card in your entire deck because it allows you to get so much advantage. This is why you control no monsters. Target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you special summon 1 Ancient Gear token, you can only use one ancient gear gadget or one ancient gear catapult effect per turn, only once that turn, which is really good. He has both effects being able to destroy something like Fortress or Gear Town, allowing you to get more advantage, which is absolutely awesome. And the fact you ignore its summoning conditions is really important because you're ignoring its summoning conditions. You can summon your ancient gear ultimate pound right from your deck, which is absolutely crazy. So a 3 ancient gear catapult in this deck is absolutely necessary in this deck. Absolutely very important card. Then for the field spell, I run a triple Gear Town. He allows you to, both players can normal summon ancient gear monsters for 1 less tribute, which is really, really good. And this card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard. You can also summon 1 ancient gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is really, really awesome. Allowing you to get resources from your deck, or push from your graveyard, which is really good. Rarely resources from your hand, but you can. So yeah, really good card there. And then triple terraform because you want to see that field spell. He's not searchable off ancient gear wyvern, which really kind of sucks. If this card was ancient gear town, it'd be broke, but it's not. Just gear town, so it's kind of like not too bad. Still a okay card, but not really great. So only having 6 ways to get to him, the deck total 3 terraforming, you're drawing it. I think really hinders the deck. If it had 9, it'd be even better, but it's okay. I guess you have to run it at 3. It's very important in the deck. Then I run Ancient Gear Fortress because it's a really good protection card and it's searchable. It says, during the turn that they are normal or special summoned, your opponent cannot target ancient gear monsters you control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, which is awesome. And your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of ancient gear cards and effects. Meaning you're going to get the effects of ancient gear cards you have off, which is crazy. Monsters or spells, which is awesome. And it says, when this card is destroyed in the spell and trap card zone, you can special summon 1 ancient gear monster from your hand or a graveyard. Also, you can special summon monsters special turn instead of ancient gear monsters. Meaning you're going to be able to replenish resources should this card get destroyed. It's a good target for ancient gear reactor deck to destroy because you're going to get resources right back, which is really good. So I think 2 of him is fine. At 3 clogs, with 2 is okay. Then I run double Twin Twister for that back row hate. Also, because you can destroy your own stuff with Twin Twister, which is really good. You can destroy your Gear Town or your Ancient Gear Fortress. 1 Power Bond, 1 Overload Fusion, and 1 Polymerization because Poly is searchable. Overload because you can banish it. And Ancient Gear Chaos Giant is a Dark, which is really good. And Power Bond because if you go Power Bond into him, he's just, it's crazy how good he can get. So, and those should be very important in the deck. Same with 1 Limiter Removal, allowing you to OTK better. And then 1 Raigeki, because Raigeki is the best board rep in the entire game, being able to destroy only your opponent's stuff and then go on from there. So 1 Raigeki, 1 Soul Charge to replenish resources, and lastly 1 Ancient Gear Reborn, because it allows you, if you control no monsters, you can target 1 Ancient Gear monster in your graveyard, special summon it. And if you do, it gains 200 attack, even if this card leaves the field, meaning he's not tied to the monster you bring back, which is really good. And it's once per turn. He's face up, once per turn you can bring it back. You can only control 1, which is only running at 1. A really good card there. So I think that's it for them. That's a really good card. That's it for the entire main deck. Off to the side, again, something is all personal preference. This is I run 1 Chaos Hunter, because it's a really good card in today's format. It stops all banishing of your opponent's side, which is really, really good. Same with double Lancia. Being able to stop your opponent from banishing cards just for a turn is really, really good. 1 Scythe, because Scythe, no extra deck, which is awesome. I'm sorry, you can special, no extra deck, which is really, really good. And then 1 Maxi. A lot of decks now don't special summon as they used to, which is why I side. If you run into a deck that special summons a lot, you can side it back in and play with it. I don't think you need it in the main deck. I always hate playing Maxi because I always feel like I always never draw an opening hand, and then I always draw it late in game when it's not of any use, or I never see it. So I feel like, side deck can get in is better than side deck can get out. So I think that's the best, having in the extra side deck is really good. Then I run double Dark Hole for extra board presence, double Swords of Concealing because you want to put your opponent's stuff face down because the majority of your cards do piercing, which is really, really good. 1 Toriano for the extra board wipe presence, double Quaking, double Royal Decree because trap cards really can hurt this deck, like Floodgate trap cards, like Imperial of the Order, also they can really hurt this deck. And then 1 Unending Nightmare. Again, the Floodgate spell cards too can really hurt this deck. So I think that's the best side deck that I would run. I think it's the best options for your side deck. Again, side deck is all personal preference. You can run whatever you would like, but that's what I like to run. And then for the extra deck, I ran 3 copies of Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, an absolute beast of a card, 4,500 attack, 3,000 defense. He takes 4 Ancient Gear monsters, which sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's not as hard to make as you imagine. It's really easy to make because Ancient Gear Hunting Hound counts as Ancient Gear monsters. Really, you have him, 3 Ancient Gears, you have him made, and it says, once you fusion summon, it cannot be special summoned by other ways. Unaffected by spell and trap effects, your opponent monsters cannot activate their effects during the battle phase, which is crazy. And this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. if this card attacks it, inflicts a monster and inflict piercing damage to your opponent, meaning he is going to put a lot of damage on the board right away. He's a big problem to get around, and he's just an absolutely ridiculously powerful card. So very, very important card. You can run him at less than 3. I just find running him at 3 is fine because board wipes or like kaiju are still a thing. People kaiju it and then you have to go around it. So I think having ways to get multiples of him is really, really good. So I think 3 there. Same with 3 Ancient Gear Howitzer because of this card. He takes 2 Ancient Gear monsters. He's unaffected by other card effects, and during your main phase, you're gonna put 1,000 damage to your opponent, and that's not like that's once per turn during your main phase. 1,000 damage. You do it every single time. And if this card is destroyed by a battle, essentially the graveyard, you can summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summon conditions, which is another way for you to get to your Ancient Gear Ultimate Pound, which is really, really good. So I think 3 Ancient Gear Howitzer is really good, and that burn damage is really nice. It really comes in handy. Then I'll play 1 Phantom Fortress. I don't know how to pronounce it. But all of his effects are really good. He's 2 level 9s. Your Ancient Gear Reactor happens to be level 9, which is really good. And all his effects, he has 4, and all 4 are really good. You can banish a card everyone controls. These are all non-targeting, which is awesome. Banish one random card from your opponent's hand. Banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard, or banish the top card of your opponent's deck face up. So all really good effects. Really, really powerful cards. So I think 1 of them is necessary. A really good card. Same with 1 Diamond Dyer, because you get around problematic cards. 1 Castel, again around problematic cards. 1 Gear Giant X, because he searches all your level 4 lore machine type monsters from your deck, and he also adds from your graveyard to your hand. So it's kind of like a card because you add all of the pieces that you need back. I run the Utopia package. 1 Plano Utopia, 1 Utopia Prime, and then 1 Lightning. Having that extra ability to OTK faster is really, really good. I think there. And then for Link monsters, 1 Link Spider and 1 Deco Tucker. Because those aren't bad cards, easy to go into. You rarely make them, but it doesn't hurt sometimes to have them. And that's it for the entire deck. This deck is, again, like I said, really, really, really fun to play. It doesn't really hurt that you don't really use your action deck a whole lot because you have a lot of main deck monsters that are really, really powerful, like Ancient Gear React Dragon and stuff like that. So I think really, really fun deck, really budget deck too. This whole deck is probably under $100. Really, really fun again. Kind of anti-links, and in a slower format like it is kind of right now, this deck probably has some potential to be really good. So yeah, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you have any suggestions or ideas for future videos, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try my absolute best to make that video. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.